Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast. I'm Colin Daly alongside Benjamin Goldstein. And folks, I like to say that April showers bring May flowers, but if April is showers in the context of the Phillies and May, then I don't even know what May could bring if the Phillies keep this up, if that idiom does turn out to be true, because April has been a very special month for the Phillies. They have 18 wins in the month. They have a 19-10 record overall, I believe. So, absolutely incredible job has been done by the offense, the bullpen, and especially the starting rotation, which we will get to at the end of today's episode. But Ben, let's get right into this. The April success, we don't even have to go there because it's well documented. We all know it, but why has that come to fruition? What's been the biggest key?
Well, you said April showers bring May flowers. What does May flowers bring, Colin?
Oh, I don't know. This is new.
It brings
This is all new to me.
pilgrims. It brings pilgrims. The Mayflower pilgrims.
I'm
You
not
get it?
following, but no.
So the ship that brought the pilgrims
Mm-hmm.
into America, to North America, was called the Mayflower.
Ah, that's great.
There you go. That's my
I
inner.
didn't get that one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you mentioned the month of April, which the Phillies are closing in on having their best April ever, which just goes to show you how bad the month of April has been for the Phillies in their history. But
Yeah.
they're just playing clean baseball. Overall, like the defense has been really good.
Absolutely.
The offense just looks so smooth from pretty much 1 to 9, excluding a few. And the starting rotation it's been the best in baseball. Like the guy with the best ERA on the team has just been demoted. That shows you just how good this rotation is. And then the bullpen has also been shut down as well. Like they're just
Oh,
top to bottom on this team. It's just good baseball. And I mean, it's crazy. It's April and we are sweeping a West Coast series. We swept the Padres on the West Coast.
I
When was
refuse
the
to believe
last
that.
time? When was the last time the Phillies swept a team on the West Coast? I don't even think I was alive. I might have been alive, but probably not covering baseball.
Yeah, I got nothing.
It's just good baseball, Colin.
It really is. I mean, they've done a great job all around, like you mentioned, from 1 to 9. I mean, Kyle Schwarber's doing Kyle Schwarber things, starting off a little slow, but I think we're going to really see him pick it up.
Well, my thing with Kyle Schwarber, he has like 7 home runs, and it's April still. He doesn't usually get
That's
to
true,
7
yeah.
until June. So he has started off, obviously, he's hitting like 2-0 something, but that's Kyle Schwarber. But he's hitting much more home runs early this season than he usually is. So kudos to Schwarber. And then number 2 has been absolutely killing the baseball.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Trey Turner, I mean, ever since the ovation in 2023, as much as I hate to admit it, he's been a completely different player.
I mean,
the numbers will tell you that too. He's seeing the ball so much better. His chase rate is around only about 25% right now. He's getting out early, swinging a lot of first pitches. He's not swinging through a lot of baseballs. And the biggest thing is they actually have a metric. It's called meatball swing percentage.
Whoa.
You ever heard of that? It's called, yeah.
These stats, man. You got me on Savant, and now it's like you're throwing random stats at me.
His meatball swing percentage this season is 88.1%. Because when there is a pitch that is in that, but like every hitter has their window, right? When there's a ball pitched in that window for Turner, he's finding a way to make contact. And it is a swing percentage, but just based off the results we've seen, he's been efficient that way. Because there are some guys who haven't been efficient. I mean, Nick Castellanos, his is 83%, pretty close to Turner. He has not been efficient. Lots of pop-ups, lots of swings and misses, but that just goes to show that he's swinging at these pitches, and his results will tell you that he's reading them. He's reading these pitches, looking in that window, identifying the spin, and then reacting accordingly. which is something he did not do in 2023. He was jumpy. He was
Are you
looking to get out in front of balls, hit them on his front foot, and drive it as far as he could. This season, he is just looking in that window, focusing every pitch at a time, and it's a completely new approach, and we're seeing a completely new player.
are you looking at the meatball percentage or the meatball swing percentage? Because if you're
Swing
looking at swing,
percentage.
Cody Clemens has a 100%
Well,
meatball swing percent.
he does. Now, how many at bats does he have?
Not many.
He's only seen 16 pitches this year. So,
But my other look at is the chase percentage. And that was a big problem top to bottom in the lineup in last year's postseason games 3 through 7 against the Diamondbacks. 28.9 chase percentage as a team with a few of those guys, Edmundo Sosa and Nick Castellanos, kind of heavily covering that percentage, bringing it up a little bit. 28.9 isn't horrible for these hitters, I don't think, Colin. And that kind of
no.
shows a little bit of how much their plate discipline has changed. And you saw Trey Turner chasing a little bit to start the year. I also want to commend a lot. Johan Rojas at the plate looks like a whole new ball player.
Oh, yeah.
And you saw a lot of some stories came out with Trey Turner working with him. Johan Rojas, he didn't get off to the best start, but ever since he went to the cages with Trey Turner and who we don't know who else went down there. I mean, it could have been literally anybody. He's looked so much more disciplined and just driving the ball more and using his speed to his advantage. He looks like he could be, like I was doubting him to start the year. Colin, Johan Rojas could be special.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, he's not making weak hits like we saw
Nope.
when he did get them rarely prior. He is smoking. I mean, he had a second career, what they call barrel, a couple days ago. And these are balls that he's hitting, 105, 106 off the bat, and you just didn't see that with him previously. So, yeah, it's a really good sign. I mean, there isn't really a guy in this offense that I can complain about right now. I mean, it would be Bryson Stott and Nick Castellanos, but they both went yard in the last series. I feel like Castellanos has had some better at-bats recently. With Castellanos, the thing to look at is walks. He had 2 huge walks in the Padres series, like literally changed the game because Bryson Stott homered behind him in both of those occurrences. But that's a really good sign for not only Stott but Castellanos too, because we know that Castellanos is an elite hitter, but pitchers have found a way to get him to chase so frequently that it completely negates his ability to see a fastball in the zone and drive it to all three sections of the outfield. But when he's walking, that means that he's reading these pitches. He's seeing when guys are trying to fool him with sliders, with curveballs, with sweepers, and it's indicative that he's just reading the ball better. He's getting a better feel at the plate. And I don't know, maybe it was a mechanical adjustment that he's made, and it's made him see the ball better. Maybe it's just a new approach. But if I had to put, we've got our Player of the Week streak going right now, right? We had Turner, and then we had Bohm. If I had to put someone, right? If I had to put somebody as our third in a row, I'm going Nick Castellanos.
That would be great because there are a few guys in this lineup. This lineup is incredible start, but there's a few guys that haven't gotten going yet. Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, and Bryson Stott, and we know what they can do. Stott, he had 2 homers yesterday on Sunday, whenever you're listening to this, in San Diego. So that could be something jolting him a little bit. Castellanos had that homer you said on Saturday. That could be something as well. And that ball barely got it. It hit off the top of the wall and bounced out. And then I did a broadcast of a softball game the next day. Or no, he hit that Friday. And then I did a broadcast for a high school softball game on Saturday. The ball hit off the top of the wall and bounced back into play, which I had never seen before.
Really?
I had never seen a ball bounce back in before. The top of the wall, like where they have the bar for whether it's out or not, it is round, so it must have hit the front of the bar and bounced back in. I just never seen it before.
Did it
I don't
bounce
know.
up or did it bounce? You go straight down?
It bounced up. It went up and bounced back in.
Really? I've
Yeah,
never
yeah, it's kind
never
of strange.
seen it.
But yeah, I mean, Castellanos could start to heat up a little bit. I mean, his WOBA is bottom 6% of the league, which I don't know what that means, but that's pretty bad. And then
It's
Bryce
weighted
Harper.
on base average, I
All
think.
right, there you go. And then Bryce Harper is only batting 234. His on base percentage is 330. So you haven't gotten a lot from three of your best hitters yet. What in the world is going to happen when they start hitting? This line's going to be unstoppable, Colin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. I mean, no, like we said it twice already, but top to bottom, these guys they don't stop. I mean, there's not a single person in these nine right now that I'd want to pitch to. And frankly, I don't even know how I would approach facing, or even from the catcher's perspective, like what I would. I mean, I feel like there's got to be a point with Alec Bohm right now where you just have to throw a fastball down the middle and hope that he gets so confused that he sees, you know, the double laces, which is usually how you read a fastball, coming right down the gut there, that he just freezes up because I got nothing. I really
Yeah,
don't.
let's get to Bohm.
Might as well.
365, 441, 615. His WOBA is 455, which is top 1% of the league. The dude's unbelievable right now. He is like out of this world. 1.056 OPS this past week because he just won Player of the Week. Let me pull his stats up. Time. He was batted 567, 581, 933 with 9 extra base hits and 8 RBIs. I think I saw he has like 19 RBIs in his last like 15 games, if not more, which is
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then the Phillies had more. The Phillies had more somewhere. 8 doubles. He's scored 6 runs. The guy is he is so unbelievably hot right now. I think he has a 13-game hitting streak. It's crazy what he is doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, and it's nothing. It's like completely mind blowing either. From from a technical side, he's making hard contact. He's swinging and missing less. It seems like my biggest observation. It seems like he's taking more offensive swings and defensive swings. Last year, it felt like a lot of Bohm's swings were defensive. I mean, the quintessential example for a defensive swing was Johan Rojas, the end of or the 2023 postseason and the beginning of the 2024 regular season. That was a defensive swing. He was trying to not swing and miss. Right now, Alec Bohm looks like he's trying to hit a line drive up the middle, and when you have that mindset, your hitting zone becomes so much larger. Because when you go out there, I feel like now would be a great time to. We haven't broken out the bat in a long time, have we, Ben?
The Ben Davis bat's coming out.
The Ben Davis bat is coming out. The man is
That's
always
what
holding
happens.
something.
That's what happens. Or when he's not holding something, he always has his hands like this.
He he does.
It's
Well,
always like this, or he's got a bat. It's very strange.
it is. Well, he does the ball
Strange.
too sometimes.
Yeah, he's got the ball. Mr. Blockhead. Another thing on Alec
Yeah,
Bohm.
right. Do you know that
24.
he went to Malvern Prep, Ben? Because I'm sure you've never heard that one before, right? He
Oh
went to
yeah.
Malvern Prep. Oh,
Alec Bohm, by the way, as well. Before you start demoing, 24 RBIs this month. The
what?
only player who has had more RBIs in the month of April in history was Ryan Howard 13 years ago, which, if I'm doing my math correctly, 2009, 2010,
Yeah,
or is it no,
11.
2011, 2011, and the Phillies won over 100 games that year.
That was also the last time they had the 18 wins in April
That
or the
is the
9.
last time they won 18 games in April, and they won over 100 games that year. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, 18 this year, and in 1993, they won 17. There's still 2 games left. And the Phillies are still second in their division, which is
Yeah.
absurd.
No, that's the crazy part.
Anyway, go
I
ahead
don't.
with your demo.
No, I've actually reconsidered. I think a baseball makes more sense for this segment.
All right, I'm gonna full screen you.
We'll use the Albert Pujols foul ball that I have over here. But when a pitcher's, and I talked about this briefly when we were talking Trey Turner, but when a pitcher is in their motion, hitters should be looking for a certain window, right? Because the ball travels on them, unless there's some crazy off speed pitch. For the most part, it travels. This is actually regardless of the pitch, about 56.5 feet. It's going to travel in a straight line. So if the pitcher is releasing the ball, we'll say here every single time, and that's your strike zone, like when they throw it down the middle, and that's the spot you want to hit it in. If they're releasing it from here every time, that's your window where you're looking to pick up the ball. And typically, if you don't pick up the ball, that's when you sit back and wait, and you're taking the pitch. But if you see coming out of that window, you're then reacting, loading back, getting your weight in your back leg, and then driving forward. But when you are having a defensive swing. We saw this with Rojas last year. We saw it, I think, a little bit, not as extreme, but with Alec Bohm in 2023. When you're taking a defensive swing, your zone becomes, you're not looking in a window anymore. You're looking at one spot in that window, and that spot is the ball. You're reacting late. You're going to constantly be behind, right? We saw Johan Rojas get fooled so much by high velocity fastballs, right? We saw guys in the playoffs. I'm trying to think. The Marlins, they have a couple guys. We saw them in the first round. That was last year, right, Ben? The Marlins yeah.
Yeah, that was the wild card. They are now the worst team in baseball.
They
Their
are.
record,
Oh,
they have like
God.
9 wins. It's horrible.
Yeah. We saw some guys in the Marlins who could really pump it up there. I think Jesus Luzardo can get like 96, 97. Obviously, the biggest example of this is Spencer Strider. He was a Brave starter in the 2023 division series, right? He can get 98, 99. However, he is out for the year this year. He's getting Tommy John. We saw swings from these guys that were just so defensive, right? Because they're not looking in that window anymore. They're just trying to make contact with the ball. So you're looking in one spot at the plate, which, like I said, it explains why they're constantly behind these high velocity fastballs, is because they're reacting late. They're looking to pick up the ball here and get a bat on it instead of finding a window and getting into a power position. Alec Bohm this year is just finding his window and reacting. And here's what I'll tell you. I think that if Alec Bohm keeps this up, we're going to see that his whiff percentage, his strikeout percentage, they're going to be slightly higher than they were last year. If you look at the best hitters in baseball, their strikeout percentages, their whiff percentage, maybe not strikeout, because the best hitters in baseball have an excellent two-strike approach. But their whiff percentage, a lot of them have, average to slightly below average whiff percentages because they're taking powerful swings from that window, and they're going to get fooled. They're going to guess wrong. And they're not going to pick up the spin correctly every single time. So, as much as you want to watch some of the, if you look on Savant, you have all your red, right? As much as you want to see that red darken, if that whiff percentage is increasing a little bit, in which increasing on the percentile is good, but if it's the actual percentage itself, which I think right now is 14.4% for Bohm, if that number goes up, that's expected, right? Because he's not going to be hitting 567 for the rest of the season, which is I think where he was. Is that right, Ben? I think over the last 7 games, he's like a 560, something obnoxious.
Yes, 569. And another thing I just saw, with runners in scoring position, he's batting 448.
Right.
And with runners scoring position and 2 outs, he's batting 529.
Yeah, that's absurd. But the results of the approach that he has right now aren't going to stay consistent. But if this approach the approach itself does stay this way, then that's when we're going to see hopefully continued success from Bohm. And again, he's not going to end the season batting 365 with a 1056 OPS. He's not that kind of player, and that's okay. There's going to be more swings and misses, but the hard contact's going to stay, and this approach is going to allow him to instead of when he does make contact, instead of rolling it over to third base because he has a defensive swing, he's going to be already in a power position where he's going to drive the ball to the opposite field, catching up to when he was swinging and missing at high velocity last season. Now he's driving it over the first baseman's head for a double down the line. And those are the kind of things that are difference makers. When you're looking at a guy who's now in the middle of your lineup, he's going to be a run producer. He already has how many RBIs? He get like 24, I think was the last number I saw.
24.
24, yeah. So he's already. I mean, we are. He's on pace for 140 some, 150 some, which is again not sustainable. This approach is sustainable, and sustaining this approach is what's going to keep him having success throughout the year. So I would say the goal for him is to keep looking in that window and just focusing on what he can do on every individual pitch. I think that's the end of my rant.
There you go,
Now
Coach Daly.
now I
Everybody.
need water.
That was pretty impressive, Coach Daly. Everybody. Some more notes on
what I'm going to do,
Bohm.
Ben? The next time I have an idea for a rant, I'm going to send you some video so we can put it up on the screen for our YouTube watchers out there.
So you don't have to talk. I mean, I might
talk over the video.
Oh,
There's
okay,
some
okay.
context for
Yeah, so you can do some pinpointing.
Right, a Johan Rojas defensive swing versus a
maybe something else you could do. You could start
Bohm.
making, you could start making some YouTube videos and
I should
say like
breaking it down.
Daly's film room. Like I'm gonna clip that and post that. And that's gonna be awesome.
That is gonna be.
So there you go, Coach Daly. Some more notes on Bohm before we have to move on. In his last 20, he's batting .419 with 31 hits, 4 homers, 21 RBIs, and he's scored 13. Have you ever seen anyone as hot like this as Alec Bohm?
No. Nope.
Except me when I was 10, because I was red hot for a little stretch. I was pitching dominant.
I did go 7 for 8. I went 7 for 8 in a big tournament back a couple years ago. That was the peak of my career. I got moved up in the batting order. Now I'm back down, which is okay. I'm perfectly content there. But
you feel like to me, you're like a 6-hole.
Yep.
There you go.
I'm usually somewhere between 6 and 8, depends who's playing.
So what did you move up to? Like 2?
No, not that high. It fluctuates. I think at that point I was lower and I moved up to 6. And now I somewhere, It really depends. This was a different team though, so that's why. This wasn't. I'm talking school right now. And this was travel when I had the 7 for 8.
Speaking of dominant, Ranger Suarez is the greatest pitcher I have ever seen. He threw 32 2/3 scoreless innings straight, which is third most in Phillies history, tied with Larry Anderson, and behind Cliff Lee, and the greatest pitcher in Phillies history, Grover Cleveland Alexander. To go back on that, Grover Cleveland Alexander probably isn't the greatest pitcher in Phillies history, but I mean, he was pretty good when he was pretty good. Ranger has a 1.32 ERA. He has a .63 WHIP, which he's absurd. He's he'll give up a homer, and then next pitch is a ground out to first. Like he's so dialed in, and he's like a lot of people have been comparing him to Cliff Lee, and that's pretty perfect because they're both just so chill, relaxed, nothing affects them. I've never seen a pitcher on such a dominant stretch like Ranger Suarez right
now. No, I've never seen anything like it. And you're right, you hit the nail on the head. It's literally because he is calm and he is smart and he doesn't second guess himself. Like there's nothing that he has done. He hasn't changed his game, his pitches. I could pull up the numbers if I was more prepared and I knew this was a conversation we were going to have about his streak and the way he's pitching. I would have had them already. But if I had to guess, I don't think you did, but I didn't realize you're going to get this, far in, or that I was going to get this far into it. But if I had to guess and really look at all of the, the math behind the way his ball is moving, I bet you it's the same as it was in 2023. But I think that he has, players like Ranger Suarez need consistency. They need structure. And the longer that he's been working with JT Realmuto and Garrett Stubbs now, they learn what works and what doesn't. And when you have a pitcher who's confident in their stuff, doesn't get flustered, and knows how to approach, and a catcher who knows how to approach hitters, the job becomes so much easier.
And
So
yeah,
much easier.
JT said after the game a few. I have the pitch stuff up for you on the present screen, Colin.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, hold on. Let me see something else here.
I don't know if that's what you're looking for. But JT said after the game that his job's never been easier. Like all these pitchers they're just all on the same page, and they're all so good. Like it's kind of unbelievable how good this rotation is. Like everyone's been saying, the four aces from 2011 with Oswalt, Holiday, Lee, Hamels. But like Ranger, his let's see here, his Rangers WOBA is .189. His expected WOBA is 229. Hard hit percentage is only 27.6%. He only walks 3.5%. His ERA is 1.32. His expected ERA is 2.02.
Those numbers are absurd. I'm looking at the numbers now, and I have them side by side here. Nothing that he is doing, there's nothing different but the way he is throwing his pitches. So I don't know if our fans are going to understand this, but the spin on his changeup this season is about 1,252 RPM, so rotations per minute there. In 2023, it was almost 200 RPM higher. However, he is getting a 45.1 whiff percentage on that pitch this season compared to a 31.1% in 2023. So it's not the pitch itself that's making such a difference. It's the usage of the pitch. It's the situation when JT, wiggles. I guess he doesn't wiggle the four fingers anymore, does he? He hits a button. Do you think the buttons have like fingers on, like emojis? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like party fingers.
I wish they still did. I wish they still did the fingers. I liked when they had their nails painted and they were wiggling them. I thought that was fun.
I know. I'll tell you, this is a random topic here. You can yell at me.
Did you paint your fingers, Colin?
That's where I'm going. I did not paint them, but it was a tournament last fall, which I guess would actually be this fall. Most recent fall.
This past fall.
Yeah. And it was a night game, and my pitcher didn't want to do body signs, so I put tape on my fingers. He throws his first warm-up pitch, and I spiked the ball right into the ground. So I go, nope. I walk right over to the dugout. I rip the tape off, and I run out to the mound and say, we got to do body signs. Like, I can't throw this tape on. Unless you want to chase the ball after every time you pitch it, we're doing tape. Or we're doing body signs. But no, yeah, you're right. I would love to see the fingers again, because I like to sit at home and see if I can pick up on their sign pattern.
Yeah, it's trying to steal their signs, You have it up on your phone in the ballpark, and you're like, it's a fastball, and then he hits a bomb.
Right? Yeah. I wish.
But Ranger Suarez is unbelievable. Absolutely. And his fielding is great too. Like, it's not just like, I wish the pitchers were still hitting. He'd probably hit a home run every at bat too. The guy's just good at everything.
I can't remember about Rangers hitting because he was on the team. I'm gonna pull it up. You keep yapping. I'm gonna find it.
He wasn't a starter until like midway through 2021, so he probably didn't have a lot of plate appearances.
There's always minor league numbers too.
There are, yeah. They didn't hit minor league. They had designated hitters in the minors.
Oh, really?
That's why pitchers are horrible at hitting in the majors.
That makes sense.
I don't know what a lot of savant means, but what I'm looking at is
lots
a lot
of red. We want to see a lot of red.
I am seeing a lot of red, and all you need to know about Ranger is, if you're old enough to remember Cliff Lee, he's that. Just cool, calm, collective. Nothing gets over him. I mean, he gave up his first run in 32 1/3 innings on Saturday, and he was just like, all right, whatever. Give it the home run. He was sad for maybe a second, then got right back to pitching, got the third out of the inning. And that was it. Like, he is just dialed in.
So I've got the hitting numbers. They're not terrible. I mean, I've seen significantly worse.
Speaking of
He is
significantly worse,
a
we can get to that.
career 3 for 16 at the plate.
Nice.
So, it's a 188 average, which for a pitcher isn't too terrible. He's got oh, that's interesting. 2 doubles and a triple. He's a power hitter. No singles. Does not have a single career base hit, but he's got
So
5 total bases.
he needs to hit
Sorry,
so we
nine
can
total
get.
bases.
He needs to hit. He needs to hit at least a little bit this year so we can get a triple for Betty's triples. Donate. Fandemicrew.com. $100 Betty's triples every triple. Help out the PSPCA. Go
Here's a
check that
question.
out.
There's wait, what was my? Oh no, I lost my train of thought now. But
All right, last thing on range, and then we're
what
moving on.
was it? You got me distracted with the triples. Dang it! What was I gonna say? I can't remember.
Oh no.
I gotta write this stuff down, Ben. I really do.
Yeah, you do.
I gotta
You weren't
write it
prepared
down.
today. You weren't prepared today.
I was not. No. All right. What's
Anyway.
that? Oh, I don't want to.
All right, so the Phillies made a change in their rotation Sunday. They inserted Taiwan Walker into the lineup, into the rotation, taking out Spencer Turnbull. Oh, did you find out? Did you find out what he was
I
going to
do
say?
remember. So
What were we
if he has the triple and the 2 doubles, is that more extra base hits than Nick Castellanos has all this season? I think it is.
Back to Taiwan Walker. He made his first start of the year on Sunday. Spencer Turnbull like a 1.3 ERA. I mean, the dude was incredible. And Taiwan Walker filled in. What did you? I don't know if you watched the game because you're kind of anti-Phils, Colin.
What?
What did you see from?
Bills.
What did you see from Walker on Sunday?
I saw a part of the game. I didn't see the whole game. From what I understand, from a little bit that I saw, it seemed like he had pretty good stuff. He didn't throw a ton of his splitter. He was really focused on, dialing in and locating that sinker, which is pretty big if you're coming back from a rehab start. Being able to get a feel for locating your pitches, that's a big on release point. It's something that you learn through repetition, and not getting that consistently can really, hinder your ability to throw strikes. So it's good to see that he was, for the most part, filling the strike zone. We've seen some games where Taiwan Walker has walked, 3, 4, I think even 5 guys. I believe he only walked 2 in his 6 1/3 innings that he threw on Sunday. So that is a decent sign for Walker, for the Phillies. I would like to see him mix in some more off speed, some more breaking stuff, because he's not a high velocity pitcher. He's not going to get away with throwing 90-mile-per-hour sinkers to every hitter he faces. But I may as well get into the whole debate now, and then I'll let you have your speaking after. But
well, before you do that, let me just Taiwan Walker threw 90 pitches in 6 1/3. 6 earned runs. He gave up two 3-run homers. Should Topper have pulled him before he threw that second one? Maybe.
Yep.
He threw 90. I feel like that's a lot of pitches for your first
coming
start,
back,
but
yeah.
I mean, they kind of were limiting their starters early this year to not get over 90, and then Taiwan Walker's first time back, he throws 90 pitches. His sinker peaked at 93, which is not close to where it was last year and kind of is not encouraging. But if he can locate it and get some more spin on it, it could be more effective. So anyway.
Now, keep in mind, though, Rob Thompson was in a tough situation because it's his first start back, and you need to utilize him to his full ability. But we also have to think about the bullpen and conserving them, because we have, we usually have Mondays off. We don't have that this time around. So,
and you have Christopher Sanchez pitching, who didn't pitch well in Cincinnati, so you could use your bullpen.
Right.
And then Spencer Turnbull, I don't know why we're still doubting Spencer Turnbull a little bit, but you don't know how many innings he's going to give you, so you might have to use the bullpen Tuesday as well. So it makes sense kind of stretching him out a little bit. But, I mean, a score could have been whatever it was to 3 instead of whatever it was to 6. But it is what it is. Phillies got the win. Taiwan Walker looked fine. To your Turnbull versus Walker.
Oh, thank you. Maybe here's my thing, and I'll try to be quick because I know we're running on almost 40 minutes here. There are 2 very, very, very valid arguments in this little debate. Taijuan Walker signed a 4-year, 72 million. It's in the article, the series recap. I think it's 4 years, 72 million deal with $1 deal with the Phillies. That is a absurd amount of money. Probably more money than I'm ever going to make in my lifetimes like 4. So this is a business decision from the Phillies. The front office is showing, impending free agents, international players, the whole league, the whole world, whatever you want to say, that if we ink you to a contract because you are a high-profile player and we give you a high-profile number of dollars, you will get a plethora of opportunities to surpass any road bumps that you may face, whether these are performance-based or if they're injury-based. And that is a very valid reason for giving Walker this opportunity. But then there's another population of people, some people who have been extremely influential in the Phillies. These are the Spencer Turnbulls, the Jeff Hoffmans, the Ranger Suarezes. And you're telling these guys that if they have proven over and over again that they are very capable, successful players, they're going to be displaced by guys. The only difference between player A and player B is the number on their paycheck. And that's not right. Because, look at Turnbull. He was a pretty touted prospect in the Tigers organization. He comes up, struggles a little bit his rookie year. He follows that up with a very good season. He throws a no-hitter. And then he gets Tommy John surgery. And, a ton of other historically good pitchers, he has a good amount of, adversity in his first season after surgery. That is so common. Now he's had the most success he's had in his entire career his first season in Philadelphia, but because of that adversity his season after Tommy John, adversity that was to an extent expected, he only signed a $2 million contract in the offseason, so his name is not worth keeping in the rotation. And I will say both arguments are valid. There's the argument that, I think that one has a little bit more validity because there's the personal aspect to it of, kind of like giving that respect to Turnbull that he's done a really good job and you shouldn't be removed because someone else, making more is returned from the IL. But there's also the business decisions that players aren't going to want to come to Philadelphia if they think they're going to be displaced by the minor league contract. So it's a really, really tricky situation for the front office. It really is.
It could be a good situation. You have two good pitchers. You see what you get with Walker.
Yeah.
Turnbull's going to start Tuesday.
Right.
They're not going to run with the 6-man rotation. They're just
that was made abundantly clear by Rod Thompson.
Yes, because a lot of their because Nola and Wheeler are not good on 6. They were not good with 6-man rotation. So we'll see how that goes.
And Nola's coming in, I think, on 6 days rest, which is absurd.
Yeah.
He does not like that.
Yeah, and now Rob Thompson's saying he doesn't want to give the guys too much rest, which is the funniest baseball quote ever. Too much rest.
Valid though.
It is valid. Let's look at the schedule moving forward. We'll look at the next week. This road trip that has lasted a while ends in Anaheim with a 3 series against the Angels Monday at 9:38, Tuesday at 9:38, and then we move into May for a 4:07 first pitch on May 1st, and then we have a night off on Thursday, and then 3-game set 6:40 on Friday night against the Giants, Saturday at 6:05 against the Giants, and then Sunday, some Sunday night baseball for you, 7:10.
Oh no.
They're giving away on some good giveaways. Saturday they're doing that I Love This Place Alec Bohm t-shirt, and then Sunday is the Mother's Appreciation Day. They're doing that pink bucket hat, which sucks for people that were going. And now they're doing a Sunday night, and it's kind of ruins it. But yeah, so you got 3 against the Angels, 3 against. Or look at it, a 4-game. Wait a second. It's a 4-game series with the Giants. Goes into Monday.
What?
Yeah, how about that? I did not. I just noticed it. So it's a 3-game with the Angels, off day Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday series with the Giants, and Monday's a 4:05 first pitch. So, Colin, what will the Phillies' record be? You have 7 games, we're saying, this week. 3 against the Angels, 4 against the Giants. What do you got?
5-2.
So, is that 1 loss in each series?
Yes, I think they're losing tonight, and I think when does Aaron Nola pitch? Is that Friday?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna lose on Friday. I think the first game of oh, wait a minute, hold on. I might have to
lose
change
the
it to
City
4-3.
Connect? Oh no.
Yeah, because they're not gonna win Sunday Night Baseball. I mean, come on. Ignoring
They're gonna win
ignoring the broadcasting channels, they're gonna go 5-2. Factoring in Sunday Night Baseball, 4-3 is a real possibility.
Sunday Night Baseball is horrible vibes.
They are.
I hate Sunday Night Baseball. I hate when the
too.
Phillies are on Sunday Night Baseball. It's horrible. I'm going 5-2. I think I agree with you. I think they lose that getaway game against the Angels, which seems to always happen, and then they'll probably lose Sunday Night Baseball because it's just bad vibes.
I think
but
Nola's
I would
struggle with 6 days of rest.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's why I'm going to say the.
I don't think they lose. I don't think they lose 2 straight though, but I do think they win that. They lose that getaway game to the Angels because it just seems like something that would happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so that's
what they did against the who was that? Who they just played before? The Reds. Oh no. The Reds were the opposite. That's right.
They lost first, and then Phillies rocking a little winning streak right now. Hopefully that'll stay. You know what else will stay, Colin?
What's that?
Great deals on SeatGeek.
You know, I used SeatGeek, Ben. I did.
You did?
I did on last Sunday, I think.
There you go.
Code.
Colin.
I held the S. The works, man. Full 9.
Yeah. Use code Philly Sports Support. Download the SeatGeek app. Code Philly Sports Support. Save $20 off your first purchase. PHILLYSPORTSREPORT. What are we doing, Colin?
Hold the S. Get it out of here.
Like and subscribe. Rate us on all the podcast apps. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Just follow us everywhere. We're everywhere. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We'll see you when we see you. We're trying to figure out a schedule. See ya. Go Phils.